Hey friends, today we are working on a 2009 Hyundai Genesis sedan. Sedan, not the coupe. Sedan, you got to keep that in mind. For those who might be working on a coupe, they seem to be a little more popular. This is a 4.6 liter V8, but I don't think it matters. I think the 3.8's the same. Sorry for the camera. If I want my flashlight on, I gotta. This is as far as I can be zoomed out. I can't go wide view. But anyway, pretty basic tools for this. Obviously, you got to take your wheel off. I think that's a 21 mil. Mine actually has this lock there as well for that one. And it's a 21 millimeter, I believe, is what I used for that. I actually just spin them off with my impact. I break them loose, I spin them off with the impact. You don't have to have the impact, but it helps. The torque wrench, I torque them to about 110. I don't know exactly what the specs are, but typically most cars are right around 110. Look it up if you want to be dead on. Just to be safe, I use that to break them loose as well. You need basic socket set. I think the biggest socket you need for this is a 7/8, if I'm not mistaken. There we go, 7/8 socket. And I believe that is for the ball joint itself. For that one, you got to pull this clip off. To pull that clip off, you got to keep in mind there's a hook, and it hooks around. So you got to unhook. You got to unhook that end with the needle nose pliers because it hooks into one of the grooves. That's how you get that snap ring out. That's what this pair of needle nose pliers is for. I use a joint, universal joint, wobbler, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what they call them in English. I know one or two other languages, but anyway. So the sledgehammer I just use to just, you know, loosen things basically, and the 19 millimeter wrench to hold the bolt. When you're taking it off the body there, you need to hold it on both sides, right? So one side you got your ratchet, the other side you got that. And that's a 19, I believe. I believe the strut is a 19 as well, that one there. And it's pretty straightforward. You just got 3 bolts. The worst part about it is the fact that you actually have to loosen the sway bar. You have to drop the sway bar, otherwise you can't get that long freaking bolt out. I think it's this one, or one like it. And anyway, if you don't drop it down, you can't pull that bolt out. So it's pretty simple. You just drop it down, make sure. I kept the jack under there earlier thinking that I might need it, but it doesn't look like I do because it's pretty much loose. But anyway, a jack helps line it up later on rather than trying to hold it with one hand. And the worst part probably, like I said, was popping it off this ball joint without the proper tools. What I ended up doing is I used this wire to hold this that way. I just tied it around the control arm and around a lug, and then I actually ended up basically spinning it this way and pushing that wrench in between there, popping it in there, and then I tapped it with a hammer over here actually just to break it loose, and then it popped it off because I don't have a proper puller. That's kind of hard on your ball joint. While you're in here, check your ball joints. This one's very loose, like as in it moves easily, but it has 0 play, so we're good there. And yeah, other than that, I started with pulling that bolt out over there, and then like I said, drop your sway bar. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, the order. I don't know if it makes it easier one way or the other, but yeah, you got to pull that out as well. It'd be the same concept if you were changing this strut. You would just pop it off down here. You'd probably have to drop the lateral link still, and then you'd have a couple screws on top, I believe. It's probably all there is to it. But don't hold me to it. I've actually never done a strut. It looks like you might have to take that whole thing off. But anyway, and just reverse it. There's really not much to it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. Usually I get them pretty quick. I can't promise. If it doesn't work, try again. I don't know if there's a private messaging thing on YouTube. I don't use YouTube much other than watching good old Cletus McFarland and you know, basic other things. I've never used my own profile much. I just try to share videos that I think might help somebody. But anyway, I hope I ran through everything here. Like I said, it's just the 3, the nut off of there, the bolt off of there, and the bolt on the inside for the lateral link. But then of course you got to drop, like I said, your sway bar down as well. And I think that's a 13 millimeter, I believe. I think that's a 13 mil over there, or a 1/2 inch. And then the 21 for the wheels, and then a 19 or a 3/4 for these. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and as always, may God bless you.